Does it suck, or is it pretty awesome? Let's find out. Hey man, welcome back. Today I want to go over a gun that's kind of had a mixture of, ups and downs, which is the Devil Dog 1911. This is a pretty cool looking gun, man. It started out and it came out with this, and then I think the original owner got caught with some stolen valor issues, and then I believe he had to sell the company, and then it was under new management, and they're making these 1911s where you can go on the website and you can configure them based off, you want like a, I think it goes from like a 3.5 to, which is like a compact, to a 4.25 to a full 5-inch, and you can get it I think in 9mm, 45, and I think maybe 10mm. Get it I think a couple different colors, and then you can get it in either the tactical or standard edition, which pretty much this is the tactical, which just means you have the mount there on the bottom. Really good grips. That's what a lot of people talk about. And you can see here, this is no magazine. She's clear. No issues here. Has suppressor height sights. Really, I think it's, you got the barrels machined out of one piece bullet steel, I believe, or something like that. I think a lot of people talk about the frames. I think it has a cast frame, and I saw people on there kind of knocking that, but just kind of lighting you. I don't really think there's a really issue. You have plates like the old Ruger P89 and P90 series, all that, which use the cast, and it's a way to kind of, it's like inexpensive way, but you can get tighter tolerances on them because of the way that you can kind of get the form you need. And again, I'm just trying to go off the top of my head. I believe the issues some people have in it is because it's not as strong as machined, because during the casting period you can get voids or porosity or different things in there, or because what the problem is when you're going through the different metals is the crack or the crystalline structure or the structure in it. So you can think of like, if you got all these different plates in there, so if they're the wider and the bigger the plates are, the more the cracks will just develop and go between the plates. So if there's just a bunch of big plates, it's easier for that crack to grow through there. So then they'll machine and forge it in there, which compacts and makes a bunch of really small, really tight plates in there, so that when you got more jaggeds and going to go around the plates, those act as hard stops for the cracks, so it makes it harder for cracks to form. So a lot of you get a casting saying that they may be weaker than your machine steel or forged steel, but then again, the way you get around that is you heat treat it. So again, this is a cast frame, but it is heat treated. Now, don't quote me, but I think it was like 4140 or something like that. There's the heat treated. So they do that to kind of, when you heat treat it, you heat it up and then you condense down and you reform that crystalline structure, the plate structure, so that your cracks can't form. And either way, it's going to be stronger than any of your polymer frames or anything. I believe this is the frame's all machined out of a block, one block of steel. They're all heat treated. I believe it. Don't quote me, and I have to look it up. It's like a 4140 or something. Again, people are going to bash me, but I had them just going off the top of the head. Really good extended beaver tail, single action. The trigger on it, I believe, is like 4 to 3.5 pounds. Really light trigger. Really like the gun. The biggest problems you had is you had some of the people that were reviewing it, and there's not a lot of reviews out there. They were saying it had ejector issues and jamming issues, and said it wasn't very reliable. I've taken it out once, and from my impressions, I haven't had any issues with the ejector, with having issues with it jamming. But I thought it was a really accurate, really nice shooting gun. Pretty bulky, has some pretty good weight for it. Again, this is the 4.25. So what I wanted to do today is, like, I know a lot of people bash it because of the past owner, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to touch it, but I want to see, how does the firearm perform? Is it good? Because these go, if you go on the website, I think the MSRP on them is like $13.99 for this model here, which is a 4.25. You got the flat earth or whatever it is. that tan with the tactical light mount on it, and I wanted to kind of see, you know, how it performed. I got 3 different types. I got some really cheap old ammo. I've got some Cabela brand ammo that's usually been pretty reliable, and then I've got some really cheap steel frame zinc coated ammo that I wanted to go through and run through it and see how, you know, if it caused any issues. Again, these 1911s are really, especially this one, has a really tight tolerances, so the tighter the tolerance, the more difficult it is for it to you know, process, you know, that cheaper ammo, especially that steel frame with the coating on there. So we're gonna go out to the range, man, and we're gonna run all that through it, see what we do, see if we get any jamming issues, and we'll come back. Oh, and another thing is, man, it's really aggressive texturing on the front and the back there. This thing, man, I've never really had a gun kind of wear on me, but that thing, that texturing, if you like good texturing, boy, that has just what you're looking for. If you could get a good look at that, that is on the front and the back, man. That is some pretty aggressive steepling going through there. All right, man, so let's get out to the range, put some rounds through it, 3 different types. I'm going to take out the Glock 47 that I just got, and my CZ75B. We'll run the same ammo through that, and that way we're having kind of equal comparison, and then we'll come back and give you my final thoughts. Alright, man, we're out here on the range. I want to try to do a complete review of the Devil Dog Arms 1911. This is a 4 1/4, and I've got a different ammo. I've got some old ammo that I usually have trouble with. I've got some steel case ammo, and then I've just got your regular, you know, pretty good average range ammo. So we're going to run all of it through there, and then we're going to see, you know, if we have issues, or, you know, if it's actually a good firearm. Because it had some mixed reviews, you know, about how it having, you know, jamming issues and different things. So we're going to give it a shot and see how she does. Now, just some plain, this is the old ammo. Sometimes I have trouble with this with light fires and everything. So we're going to run it through there, see how she runs. Here we go, first mag. Well, so far so good. All right, let's keep going.
Now we're shooting steel.
The jam? Let's see. Oh, it didn't go all the way in there. All right. All right, so we had 1 jam with steel. Let's keep going. Still shooting steel. Jam again. Let me see. Okay, so it does have issues getting that steel in there. Where's it? Let me see it. Look, no. You see that? Okay, yeah, it's just not pushing it in there all the way. All right, so another brass, and then we'll go back to some steel. We had issues with the steel. We're jamming up. So far, we've only had 1 part where it's jammed, so I checked out the brass. Alright, no issues. It seems pretty good with brass. Doesn't really like the steel, so let's switch back to steel and see how it does. This is cheap steel. This is like Monarch zinc coated. I'm pretty sure this is like $12 a box, so maybe that's the reason why it doesn't like it. Using stock mags. Alright, here, let's see if we can get through the steel. Alright, here we go. Yeah, see, it just has a problem like ejecting the steel out, like getting it out of there. Same thing every time we're running steel. That boom, it just pops right out. It's just getting, it's like that, you can feel it, like the gummy, whatever coating's on that steel is just sticking in there. Alright, let's try to finish this magazine. Yeah, see, you can see the gummy. It's just, maybe I need to clean that barrel, but it's just getting jammed in there. So we're gonna stop shooting steel out of it because doesn't really like it. Let's go back to brass. Yeah, you can see it's kind of, it's like a gun. It feels sticky. So I think it's something on there that's not. It's not really like it. Run a couple rounds of the steel. Like I said, it doesn't like the steel, but we'll. It seems to be gumming it up for some reason. We'll just run this just to see how we kind of warmed it up a little bit. Same thing. Has trouble kicking that out of there. Let's kind of see if it's gummy like the other ones were. Yeah, you can feel it. It's whatever coating they got on there. It's like really sticky. It's just getting jammed in. So that one might be an ammo issue. It's this Monarch thing coating. We'll run it through the Glock real quick and see how it does. All right, here we go. Just to test and see if it's the ammo or not. We're going to run same steel ammo through the Glock 43 and see how it does. You know, Glocks tend to run about everything, so let's see if it has any issues with the same ammo. So no issues. So it's got to be the barrel, or got to be something to do with how this barrel is taking the steel ammo. But like I said, the Glock ran it pretty damn good. That one, for some reason, it keeps sticking. Has trouble getting it out of the ejector. So, all right, man. All right, man. I almost forgot to run the steel. So we know that the Devil Dog couldn't handle the steel without jamming up. So the Glock ran it fine. So let's try it through the CZ75 again. We'll run that Monarch steel. It's like the cheapest stuff I could find. Alright, so the CZ ran it fine, so it's something that was the Devil Dog. Maybe it's too tight, the tolerances or whatever, but it did not like its steel whatsoever. Alright, man, so there we go, we got all three. CZ75. Let's do it. Ooh, injector issue. All right, we're gonna run. We got the Herder's Cabela brand ammo. Let's go run that through there and see, just to make sure we're not having any. Because I'm thinking a lot of our issues is that old ammo. All right, here we go. All right, okay. That was a quick mad dump, and there was no issues whatsoever. So I think an issue, it doesn't like steel, and that old ammo, because like I said, we had an issue with the CZ where it jammed up on the same type of ejector issue. So I think it's probably that ammo. All right, here we go. Last mag of brass ammo. Let's see how she does. There we go. Ran that flawlessly. So again, this ammo here that we have, every once in a while we have issues with this. It's like really old. I got it from a clearance set of Orsolin's going out of business. So like I said, we'll have issues with it, light striking from time to time. So I'm gonna run one more clip to see if it'll have to do with the steel. Now we've kind of broken a little bit, and then we'll call it a day. All right, man, we're back. As you can see through there, we ran most of the time running the brass. Even that one ammo I had, that PPS or BPS, I had, I think an Orsolin's was going out of business, and they had all that super cheap. I just bought all they had, and every gun I've had, no matter if it was a Glock or my Walther or my my HKs or my P226s or 229s, all of them always have light fire issues with them. And as you see, it ran the steel, or even that brass, the cheaper stuff and the better stuff, it ran it pretty good. It ran the Cabela stuff flawlessly. Had no ejection issues at all with it. It did, I think we had one, maybe two ejector issues where it was having trouble, where it would kind of kick out the round and get stuck when the next round's coming in there. It was like it didn't quite get out of there fast enough. I think, correct me wrong, I think some of that maybe due to the spring, maybe I've heard people talk about that, having too tight of a spring on it, where it's cycling a little too fast or something like that. And then again, I ran the CZ75 and it had the same issue with that same ammo, with the CZ75. But again, you've seen light strikes. I had light strikes with that ammo when we were out there with the CZ, this, and the Glock. I think at one time I had like 3 light strikes in a row. And I was like, wow. So I'm kind of glad I finally burned through the last box of that. But when I was running the Cabela stuff, it was no issues. Now, when I ran the steel, the Glock shot the steel flawlessly, and so did the CZ. This it was just having issues. It couldn't. And again, that was the cheapest $12 Monarch steel that I could find at Cabela's, or not Cabela's, Academy. Really cheap, zinc coated. And I did notice, as I said in the video, like every time it would get jammed in there, it wouldn't come out, and I would touch it, it would be sticky. So it's like that coating. And again, I know these 1911s, some of them, and especially this one, from what I'm told them, they're really tight tolerance gun. And so the tighter the tolerance, especially in the barrel, like anything like that, that's that's why Glock is what it is, because it has a looser tolerances, so it can run pretty much anything. Your tighter tolerances can have, I think, even like your Walthers, because I'll have Walthers, I'll have the PDPs and stuff will have issue with certain types of ammunition because they have such tighter tolerances. I think that's what we were running into here. And there was one part, it was it got gummed in there and jammed, and I had to take it apart, get all that out of there, try to clean it up a little bit, and ran it, and it ran pretty good. Then after probably like 10 rounds or so, boom, it get gumped, and boom, one gets stuck in there again. So it did not like that cheap steel coated ammo. But then we switched back over to the brass, and it would run it flawlessly. And you see there, I even had my son do a couple really quick mag dumps. I told him, go as fast as you can, no issues. So did it run completely flawless? No, we did have, I think, well, like I said, 1 or 2. But again, I had the same thing. Didn't have it with the Glock, of course, but I did have the same thing with the CZ, which I have. Usually the CZ is like perfect, but that old cheap ammo did run. And then I ran, like I said, switched over to Cabela's and ran them both through there. Sorry, it's like a fidget spinner when they're going through these. I really like, messing with the hammers. But yeah, the Cabela stuff ran flawless, no ejector issues, nothing. So what I'm saying is, I think since the tolerances on this is so tight, I think as long as you're running good ammo, there's no issues. Now, as far as accuracy, this is probably one of the more accurate guns I shoot. Now, again, I shoot the 226. I got a CZ75. Not today. We had the Glock 47 and CZ75, and the Glock had the Holliston on there. I was actually hitting the targets a lot more accurate with this than I was any of the other ones. So if I would say accuracy, this was just dead on, man. It was the ergonomics on it. The trigger is real well. Again, it's a 1911, so you're gonna have a really light trigger, but the trigger was really nice, even compared to like the CZ, and when I was running compared to like my PDP and my Canic. The trigger was really nice, really crisp. It's just probably one of my favorite guns to shoot. Again, they have that ejector issues, but like I said in the video, I haven't put very many rounds to it. I think I probably got, before today, I think I may have had, 20, 30 rounds through it, maybe, I think. And so today, we probably put, I don't know, 300 rounds through it or so. Overall, I think we're probably about 300-400 rounds. And again, it got better the more we went, the less issues. So, again, it could be a break-in issue. But overall, man, is it a good gun? Would you go out there? And I've seen these, they're really hard to find. I think, like I said, you go MSRP on the website, you're looking at $13.99. I think I've seen some of them, if you can find them on sites, they're running about $1,100 or so. I think I saw one used for about $850, $900. I think it is a really good gun. I think I will probably reach out to Devil Dog and see about the ejecting deal. Like I said, I haven't had very many. Like I said, I think overall I've probably had, maybe 2 or 3 deals where it was like it just wasn't ejecting it fast enough. and it would get caught in there. And again, the steel, it was just like, no, it was just throwing it. It was just, it didn't want to have any part of the steel, that cheap steel ammo. It was just too gummy. And I think, again, I'd probably buy that down the tolerance thing. Overall, I would say this is a very quality gun. Now, my experience with the 1911s is, of course, I have my Dan Wesson Pointman. I had a lower one like a Thesis, the Thesis 1911A1, which was a really good gun for the money. If you're ever out there looking, if you're ever looking at Thesis A1, and you're like, should I get that? Yeah, I think you can get them for like $399, $349 sometimes, and that's a really nice gun for the money. And I think the probably prices will end up going up on those eventually. I've shot my Springfields, and a friend of mine, Springfield, I think it was a Ronin or in a Garrison. Really nice guns. Would I put this up there? How would I put it? Below? I would definitely put these above the Thesis and the Springfield, and I would probably put it, I don't want to piss everybody off, but I'd put it just right there below. This is probably the second best 1911 that I've ever shot. Again, my Dan Wesson, it really tight tolerances, but I never had any issues with it kicking out rounds. And either with any of the other ones. This one is the only one that I've had it, but again, it was kind of good to see the CZ75 actually do the same exact thing. Yeah, I would recommend this if that's what it is. If you can get one, if you can find one, they're really hard to find. They come in a couple of different colors, or you can kind of get a hold of the website. I would recommend it. Really nice firing, really nice accuracy. The grips, the ergonomics on it are great. You know, I love that extended beaver tail. You got the grip safety, really nice sights on there, if you can see those. Really nice sights, really easy to get a good aim on it. Breaks down really easy. Yeah, man, I would recommend it. I would probably, you know, out of a scale of 10, I'd probably give it probably about an 8.5. Again, I'll probably reach out to Devil Dog, like I said, and you know, just kind of touch base with them about that ejecting. And but again, it could have been something. It could just been the cheap ammo that was running through it, because when I ran the better ammo, no issues whatsoever. So again, I don't want to keep spinning around in circles. I tried to use, I've got a, you know, I think it's like a Metal Tech or something. I was trying to stay with the stock. I think they come with the Matgar 10-round magazines. I tried to stay with just that. So if you're, you know, that way you're just using what's out the box. Before I went through and got, you know, upgraded magazines and put through it, but just using what comes in the box ran pretty damn good. I'm pretty impressed. You guys, again, I think it comes down to, just like anything else, more tighter tolerances. You gotta make sure you're running good ammo, man. All right, man. Until next time, if you got any questions, put it down in the comments. But yeah, Devil Dog Arms 1911. Yeah, I would definitely pick one up if you see one. Hard to find, but if you can get it, I think it's worth getting. All right, man. Until next time.